Do you want to improve in art, or do you want to draw from imagination? Maybe you're just starting your artistic journey. It really doesn't matter, since we all have lots of questions. Where do we start? What do we have to study? Probably fundamentals? Yeah, everyone talks about fundamentals. But what are fundamentals? Line, shape, form, value, texture, perspective, composition. So, how exactly should we learn all of them? And how does it even help you to put ideas from your mind to the paper? You know what? I've struggled with these questions myself, but recently I realized that the most important thing you want to learn is how to study and practice efficiently. I've always tried to find a way to draw from imagination, but it never clicked that it's about remembering things. What I mean by that is we can think of drawing as a language, a visual language. So when you learn a new language, you learn the grammar and vocabulary, right? You memorize a lot of stuff and practice it until it gets intuitive. In your own language, you're writing and talking effortlessly. And the reason you can do this is because you've been practicing that your whole life. You already learned at least one language, so you can learn to draw too. And learning this skill includes physical and intellectual aspects. You need to train your mind to have strong hand-eye coordination and execute any type of stroke with confidence. This is similar to how you learn to write the alphabet effortlessly after years of practice. We train our eyes and hands through repetition, constantly deconstructing what we see and trying to put it down on paper. This includes training to properly see proportions, values, and colors. This foundation of hand-eye coordination and visual analysis fits into the intellectual understanding of drawing. This includes the science of how we see the world, how light affects form, how we represent forms through perspective, and many more. As we have seen, improving in art requires a massive amount of information combined with consistent practice. This complexity, coupled with the whole world around us, makes retaining everything we learn a significant challenge. Think about it. Most of us don't even remember what we ate for breakfast a few days back. So, how do we retain all of the information we have to learn for arts? I've been researching this topic to understand why my practice sometimes feels inefficient and how to improve it. Just consider this. We learned our language fluently and retain information for years. And we remember things that we learned a few years back. It means that information is not learned and stored in the same way. Here's the good news. Art learning can be just as effective. Science tells us we have both short-term and long-term memory. Our goal is to send what we learn to long-term memory so we can use it in our art later. Think of short-term memory as a brain space with limited slots. If we overload it with constantly new information, the old stuff gets pushed out and lost. So we want to make sure the important art knowledge gets sent to long-term storage. Now let's explore some effective methods to commit information to your long-term memory and supercharge your art learning. Just like studying the alphabet when learning a new language, it's crucial to start simple. Gradually add complexity and build your knowledge step by step. Start by narrowing your focus to one thing at a time. The less information you overwhelm your brain with at once, the more mental energy it has to focus on truly understanding the essential task at hand. Now let's take a look at a practical example. Imagine that you are learning how to draw hats. However, these concepts apply to anything you study in art, including other mediums like painting or sculpture. While studying hats, you will draw a lot of faces using references or drawing from real life. But to truly understand what we are drawing, we need to go beyond just copying. Here are some key steps to follow instead of solely rely on reference. The first step is structuralization. This is about understanding and learning how things actually work beneath the surface, which is basically to be able to simplify, visually or on paper, complex things to their simplest form by using geometric 3D shapes like spheres, cylinders, cubes, and others. Figure out the perspective of the head, how the skull underneath would look like, learn planes of the head, muscles, etc. I think you get it, right? The second step is recall. Here, we challenge ourselves to reproduce what we've learned by drawing heads from memory, without looking at reference. You can do it right after completing your drawing from reference, or dedicate a day in your week when you draw specifically for recall. Even spending a short time, like 30 minutes before bed, sketching what you studied that day, can be very beneficial. The key thing during recall is to focus on reproducing what you studied from memory. If you get stuck, can't remember how something looks, or have to connect some muscles, that's okay. All you need to do is simply use your reference and refresh your memory. If necessary, you can always do more studies. The more you practice recall, the more you will be able to draw from memory with confidence. The next step is self-critique. Here you become your own art teacher. After the recall session, compare your drawing to the reference and try to figure out what you forgot or did wrong. This isn't about punishment, it's about learning from what you've created. By analyzing your work, you strengthen the connection in your brain and solidify the information you are learning. By combining these steps, structuralization, recall, and self-critique, you create a powerful learning loop that strengthens your understanding and transfers information to long-term memory before it gets replaced by any other information. The more you practice analyzing what you draw and reverencing your studies, the more confident you will become in your artistic abilities. And remember, you never should be guessing. References and studies are your continual learning companions. Trust me, in the long run, you're doing yourself a huge favor. Getting a good night's sleep after focused learning is crucial. Sleep allows your brain to process and solidify the information you've learned, making it more likely you will retain what you studied. The last step is repetition. Think of your brain like a muscle. It gets stronger with exercise. It needs to keep repeating what you learned over and over again to strengthen the information. It will help you better understand the subject you are focused on and, with time, get to the point when you draw intuitively. By incorporating these steps during your studying process, you will develop a deep understanding of your subject matter and improve your skills in both reference drawing and drawing from imagination. Remember, anyone can learn to draw and improve with dedication, practice, and patience. There is no such a thing as failure in art, only experience. Find your own methods of solving creative problems and, most importantly, enjoy the process. Make drawing a relaxing and happy space for yourself, and you will naturally find yourself drawing more often. So grab your pencil, embrace the journey of artistic growth, and happy drawing! Hope this helps. Like and subscribe for more videos in the future. See ya!